Hey guys, welcome back to the episode of the Quarterback Talk Podcast. It's your boy John, and as always, we are here to discuss the latest in football with you. It is the holiday season, it is Christmas, and in the season I've given a lot of people's teams decided to give away the points that they should have been winning. However, to discuss the latest in football, we have Daniel. We'll go with Daniel first. Pat, was it good, my guy?
I good. I do.
And we have Brandon. Brandon, was it good?
I just let them know this background is because somebody offered me cola champagne instead of sorrel for the Christmas season, and that is utter woke nonsense.
So on Friday gone, we had youth group, right? We had Christmas dinner. I was in charge of sorting out drinks, right? But the age group is 10 to 18 years old. So obviously there's leaders and stuff like that, right? So in my head, I'm like, okay, this is students, this is children, 10 to 18, right? I will do more soft drink than I would do sorrel. That was a very stupid decision.
Utter
And we
woke
end up
nonsense.
taking a star water and trying to stretch the sorrel for people to get. No, so it had about 130 people there. And I bought 7 cases of red solo, 7 cases of cola champagne solo, because the team was red and white, right? We went home with 4.5 cases. And I think the only reason that the other cases were done, I think somebody actually took about half a case and just left with it. But yeah, it's fine. Anyways, ladies in football, despite what Brandon name says, Chelsea are definitely in the title race, and they really are putting a foot forward with their win this weekend. Brandon, I'm not gonna do it in this service. Why don't you tell us first of all how you felt at 2-0 down, and then all the emotions they went through to see you all come back to win 4-3.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say this is a very important lesson for everyone that you must always wear the appropriate footwear for the appropriate setting. So you can't walk into the ocean with slippers. You can't walk into a mud field with tennis racket shoes. Things like that. And that's the thing with Cucurella clearly wore the wrong shoes, and he just kept slipping twice. Those 2 slips cost us 2 goals. And but beyond the 2 goals, I think we really bounced back well. I think we saw a lot of great performances from a lot of players, Cucurella included. I think after the second slip, he really improved. I think there was a stat that after he slipped the second time, I don't think he misplaced a pass. So I think that overall we played really well. I think this says a lot about the team. There's a lot of character in this team. There's a lot of quality in this team. And the age-old saying, everybody keeps saying, we need Cole Palmer to win. He won us the game today, but I don't think it was only because of him, and I think that is only beneficial for us going forward. And I mean, I still don't think we're in the title race, but we will get into that now. As I assume.
I mean, hey, that is what the table is saying, and I mean, I don't want to just say it pejoratively. I think that the way that Chelsea are performing this season, it warrants it. It warrants it. And we talked about last week about how it's not a case about if Liverpool would drop points. It's a case of if the chasing pack would stay perfect enough to chase him. And Chelsea, out of the 3 teams that were tied on points last week, were the only team to go on and do that. And credit definitely is Patrick, what is there anything tactically that you found interesting in this game?
Nope.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you. Are you impressed with the fact that Enzo Maresca has them here second title race, whether you wanted to not, compared to where Poch had them last year?
I am impressed.
Or how impressed
and surprised. I'm impressed enough to be surprised because I didn't think that Chelsea. I thought they would have been better than last season. I didn't think they would have competed for the title. On a technical level, they are, despite what Brandon's name says. Technically, they are. Whether we back them to go over the line is something else. But that doesn't matter. They're in second right now, and I think they should be applauded for that. Position on the table aside, look, it's been a major turnaround for the team as a collective and for certain players as well. Fernandes is looking fantastic right now. Caicedo is looking much better than he did last season as well. Sancho had a good game today. He had a good game when he got subbed on last time too. And
is that arguably been his best game in England so far?
Sancho?
I think
Today?
he could be in a
I don't think so.
Probably, I think the
I,
Liverpool one for United was also really good, but this was up
true.
there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I only
he
say
was
that because
also up for
Lions
the
had say
official.
that.
Okay. Well, whatever the case is, I mean, I think tactics aside, I think Maresca has done a really good job on like a man management side of things, and maybe that's part of the football that I don't pay enough attention to, or maybe that we just don't talk about enough.
Mm,
But yeah, tactics. I mean, I don't even think Chelsea's tactics are anything to really be studied, if
mm-hmm.
I'm being honest. But I think his man
Yeah.
management has been, what has them where they are right now. And perhaps that was the way to go because we all know the caliber of players at Chelsea, right? But it was always like the talk was always like, why can't they pull it together, right? And we would theorize on why they couldn't pull it together last season and seasons before, but we have someone came in and maybe deviated from the tactical side because again, I don't think anything special is going on, but maybe he just paid a lot of attention to the soft factors like good training environment, good overall environment, and maybe he's have conversation with some of the players. I honestly don't know. I know environment helps, but I don't know what else a manager does on a man management point of view. Without
Well,
rambling on, I think he's done a good job.
yeah, and I think like one of the best things has been just simply platforming their best players. We've seen how well that obviously Palmer does, and he gets all the plaudits. But as we've said for the last few weeks, this has gone from being the Palmer show to he being the main event amongst several other good events around him. We talk about Sancho having a good week this week. Last week we were talking about who would be the fourth prong in this attack because we also said that Neto has been playing good. We've been saying for weeks that Jackson has been playing good, and all these things put together draws a stark parallel to even like what we see going on with City and Arsenal, where they have definitive one or two guys that you expect to get the goals, and when those guys aren't doing it, the results aren't there for them. But we could go away.
Did this before.
Right. Yeah. No, yeah. And when you watch, we could go a big game like today. Jackson didn't score. But you know what? They got goals for other ways. And we've been seeing it for last week. Jackson didn't even start midweek. They score 5, and we've seen the attacking talent that this Chelsea has that propels them forward. And when we did our preseason predictions, a lot of what I based Spurs doing better than other teams and United doing so poorly was where are these teams going to find the goals? Well, Chelsea's answering that with like 5, 6 different players, and I think that is a credit to a very questionable a squad that we questioned a lot over the years, but they seem to have finally got it right now. Brandon, yes, I don't necessarily think it was something special tactical, but I think what we saw is the soft underbelly of Spurs come forward again, but we also saw the resilience that this Chelsea team had, that even at 2-0 down, they knew that they still had to go forward and try and get a win. And to put out 4 goals before they got a response, says a lot about the team's character right now.
Yeah, well, I just to get to a little bit more the tactical aspect of it. I know Daniel said there's anything special. And I tend to agree with him, but there was one tactical change that he made today, which is when at halftime he brought on Gusto and took off Lavia.
Mm-hmm.
Lavia had a yellow card. Lavia had an excellent first half despite the yellow card. But taking him off and putting Caicedo back into the midfield, I think that's where we really won the game. I think Caicedo, again, he's proven to be one of the best midfielders in the league. And then, when you have post-divorce Enzo Fernandez, looking like prime Frank Lampard, like that,
Yeah,
that will certainly help everything go the way it could go.
Yeah.
So you could just remind me what your question was, John.
Was more just to talk about where the character is with this Chelsea team right now.
Yeah, I think it stems a lot from the manager. I think that a lot of the things that Enzo Maresca has said in his press conferences, a lot of things that he said in interviews, I think have been very helpful, very constructive. He even spoke about Madueke in training recently, which some people might have taken as a shot to Madueke, but I think it seemed to me like it was constructive criticism, and it continues to prove that to be constructive criticism, anything that he says. And I think that the character in the team is self-evident. I mean, I've said this from the start of the season, we have one of the best players in the league. and he has a lot of character. The second penalty will tell you everything you need to know about Cole Palmer. Enzo Fernandez has, come back from, I think, one of the probably one and a half of the worst seasons he could have as a Chelsea player, and he's really revitalized himself this season. Caicedo has been incredible. Sancho is another one. Jackson, there's a lot of character in this team, and I feel like it stems from these players feel like they have something to prove, and every one of them, even if it's not players that were there during the hard times at Chelsea, these players that have come in have something to prove, and I think that is a big thing for the team because everybody is playing for something at this point. Like, Caicedo went from being one of the best players in the league at Brighton to being $100 million flop back to becoming one of the best players in the league. Enzo Fernandez went from $100 million World Cup winner to being a flop at Chelsea. Now has something to prove. Sancho has something to prove after being a flop at United. Like all these players, even Jackson was considered a flop last season based on the neutral perspective in the league, and look at what he's doing this season. So I feel like from the manager come down, there's a lot of character. And I also want to add before I finish that I don't want to hear anybody come and tell me, oh well, yeah, if you spend so much money, the team must succeed at some point. When everybody was telling us, oh well, look how you all waste money here, look how much money you all spend on this player, your scattershot approach. I don't want to hear that. Don't come and tell me about how we should be challenging for the league. Nobody believed in us 2 years ago, so don't come and start believing in us now.
Mm-hmm. Completely fair. I was going to say at 2-0 down, like this, Patrick, this one is more for you, right? And it felt like the most like Spurs thing then for them to not win their last two, but in a big 6 game, yeah, they get up. And again, I was listening to somebody's talk today, and it was like for Spurs, the most crucial thing, what it was that third goal. That third goal had to be their own because the second that they let one slip, like we said it down here, they swallowed 4, but none of us find that inconceivable. I mean, I know that Romero came off, but we don't find that inconceivable. How do Spurs get out of the cycle by passway? Because we see that their highs could be that they beat up City, and we know it's a weak on City and stuff like that, but they took them to the cleaners. They put up 2 here. We've seen them at their highs. We're probably one of the best attacks in the league. But then, if it's so easy to overturn them, it's all for what, really?
I think this is a tough one to answer because, well, for a couple of reasons, right? If I could answer it, there are better people out there that could answer it and would fix it, right? As you first thing. But really and truly, I feel like there's so many soft factors involved with the history of the Spurs and all that. And I think that at this point in time, bottle jobs are potentially just in their DNA. And if you want to change a culture, then you need to start from like the ground zero level, right? So you would potentially be looking at replacing the entire team and backroom staff and potentially owners, and then you just keep going up the list, right? In order to change our culture, and that is not something that Spurs could do anytime soon. So, with that out of the way, I think if you're looking at like what would be the word, like a short-term solution type of thing, then really and truly, I feel like they need positivity in the camp first of all. However, the manager decides to do that is up to him. Whether training is like much a lighter approach to training, maybe lighter not in terms of physical load, but mental, the mental side of
Well,
training.
let me
And
ask
that's
this,
where go ahead.
I was gonna ask, do you all think that, I mean, again, we're doing this off of not just that they lost here, but they lost to Bournemouth, and I believe they drew the week before to Fulham, right? Do we think that if this was his fully fit team, then that they would have been less susceptible to these kind of results? Because to be fair, they had Fraser Forster in goal, who until he started these last few games, he hasn't started in Prem in years. He's very much not who we remember him being at Southampton when he was actually pretty decent. Fun fact. I don't feel it's a fun fact. I surely hear this on commentary today that he was the last keeper to actually save a pen for Spurs, which was God knows how many years ago.
That's insane.
Was not close to today.
But they had, Lloris for a long time, so the notorious non-penalty guy.
Yeah.
So,
No, it's true, right? But yeah, do we think that if they had a fully fit team that they would have been a little bit better? I talk about that. I talk about maybe if Van de Ven and Romero were more up to pace, like Romero did came off injured today. So
I don't know.
Nah.
They
Bentancur too.
Are we just bypassing the fact that he played them injured? Like,
it looked like
this is not a final, bro. This is a
It-
game week 15. Like
yeah.
you set back your team a few weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was it worth the risk? Was it worth the risk?
I have nothing to show fit. Yeah. And to be fair, we saw Travis and Davies playing a decent performance against City, right? So why not?
I don't know if had they had the fully fit squad. I mean, it would have probably helped them in some of the easier games, but they had kind of the whole team today and still happened to lose. So it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. But I would say that I think that Spurs are just emotionally fragile all the time. So like, even though like Spurs as a team could go 3-0 up and one goal will end up like one goal conceded will actually rattle them.
Would break them.
And it's a crazy thing. But the reason for that is because of the history. Like, they've been in those winning situations probably more than any other team that I could think of off the top of my head and lost from winning positions so many times that when it looks like it's about to happen again, it's like panic stations. And that emotional side of it, I don't think it's anything that we could account for. There's no tactics. There's no nothing that you could really do for that when it's so embedded in your head that damn, been through this so many times, hated it every single time, and it looks like it might be happening again. And now everybody's just start panicking. And panic is you can't do that on the field. But I understand why it happens. So it's a difficult answer to to find.
You say that part, and the first game that comes to my mind, like very, very first one. I don't know why it is, because to be fair, they have been Arsenal games where they capitulated, right? But all you remember the West Ham 3-3 game. The Lanzini scored the scorcher in the last minute, and it was when it 3-0 in the 81st minute.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, it is.
But
so
only
crazy.
them, only they would do
It's
that. They are the only people that would do that.
Yeah, it's true.
And it doesn't help. It doesn't help that before that game, it could have had about 5 others that we could think about that they bottled, So it doesn't help. They bottled league titles. Doug, oh my gosh, finals that they just don't win. That's their problem. And it's got to a point where it's just way too systematic. So,
you all heard it here first. Patrick saying the only reason Klopp have a UCL is because Spurs bottle it. That's the only reason that they have a UCL.
Yeah, it could only be Tottenham front here,
Exactly.
I have a
question though.
I also had a question, but go ahead, Daniel. I'll ask it after.
I just wondered, anybody here find Palmer had a bad game today? Just show of hands if.
I thought he was pretty quiet for the majority of the game. I thought in the second half, he really looked good. But for the first 60 minutes of the game, I don't think he was that great.
Okay, fair enough.
But
I was wondering if I was in the minority, and it seems like I am because I thought he won the game that way. So fair enough.
No, but in the second half though, he was great. Like he was on fire. Even the Enzo's goal, the dribble past 4 players was amazing.
Yeah, bro.
Like even the whole move was great, but like that one piece of skill was incredible. Like I mean, we expect from players like that,
He had a flick on today too that I felt like was disgusting as well.
Yeah, true.
Like,
I know you're talking about.
What is that?
I think for me is like he's like as Brandon said, but for like the 6-7 minutes go forward, like you saw him take responsibility of the team to get them to go over the line. And like we had a friend who messaged to talk about, like they all the stat sheet you want to show is like he scored 2 pens, right? But from the performance, I think today is not one of them days to level that at him at all, boy. Like I really thought that he took responsibility Wait, but this gonna sound real thing, but like take responsibility. Same way we say KDB take responsibility for City, but that yeah, but I go in and make something happen. Somehow something gonna happen. And because it's a Nick anyway, it's gonna show like assist for the end zone. But I think like that is like a capsule of how he started to perform. By hook or by crook, I gotta make something happen in this game for them to win. And to be fair, the second pen he win it too. So it's not like to say like he was just waiting there for these things. So yeah.
Well, I just want to make sure I understand what Daniel's saying. So what you're saying is that you think Palmer had a good 90 minutes. That's what you're saying, right?
I do.
Okay. I just want to make sure I understand what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
My thing with Palmer is that I feel like he plays the same way right through, regardless of situation, circumstance, scoreline, right? And me personally, now again, I am not him, so I can't say what he did, right? But I feel like there was no difference in his performance pre-assist and then post. If we using Enzo's goal as the tipping point, right? I don't feel like there was a difference in his performance. I think that he just happened to get on the ball more. But I find that every time he gets on the ball, it's something sensible. You know what I mean? Even if it's just a one-touch pass, a lot of times maybe that's what's required in that moment. But his decision making, I think, needs to be studied because he seems to make the right decision almost every single time. And it like that thing that John said about from the 60th minute or whatever, he just decided, okay, I'm going to win this game. However, I mean, I personally feel like that's him from minute one. I just think it depends on if he's getting on the ball a lot or not, that you can then feel like, oh, he cooking. You know what I mean? Because sometimes 10 minutes can pass and he doesn't touch the ball. But I really feel like that's down to, does Chelsea want to find him now or not as yet? To me, he's the same player from minute 1 to 90. I don't really see the difference. But again, that's just me. I could be wrong. It doesn't matter. That's just how I feel.
I feel like a way to describe what you're saying there, Daniel, because I agree with you as well. Like I think he had a great game, but it's kind of like if I'm sure both of you have done boogie boarding before, right?
Yeah.
Like I mean if you can't boogie board, you could be the best boogie boarder, but you can't boogie board when the tide going out, right? You can only boogie board when the tide going in, right? So I think the momentum of the team had a lot to do with the optics of Palmer's performance. Because I agree with you. I think he played well overall. But when the team started to play well, you really saw how effective he became throughout the game. So I totally hear what you're saying. But I would like to ask both of you a question. I'll ask John the first one, and then I'll ask you the second one, Daniel. John, I know you said you had Spurs finishing fourth at the start of the season. Where do you think now would be a respectable finish for them at the end of the season?
Respectable. Well, that's a key word in that though. Respectable would be they somehow still manage to finish top 4, but I think outside of that, like when you watch the fact that I know Villa won their last 2 games, but it was on this big winless run, and City are where they are, and things that they would have tried to get into the top 4 this season or get top 5. That might end up being a Champions League spot, I think. But like, you see, it also depends on how Fulham continues and Brighton continues on top of Chelsea and Arsenal, City, Liverpool. Like, all those are teams that you still feel there's a lot more momentum with them compared to West Spurs. And so, like, what I think is respectable is a Champions League spot. What I think is realistic is somewhere around like 6, 7, 8 there.
So, and then my follow-up question to Daniel would be, at what point do you think it might be too much, and do you think could you see Postecoglou staying until the end of the season?
I can. It seems like everyone seems to like him, and he's always have these games where he have people feeling like Spurs are gonna win the title again. Obviously not that's a stretch, but he does have those games. I think he will last the rest of the season, and then there'll have to be a conversation after that. But you said at what point will it be too much? Like, does that mean at what point would he get sacked this season? Like, what would happen?
Yeah, at what point? Because let's say they lose the next 4 games and they've dropped to, I don't know, 12th or something, or wherever United are, somewhere around there. What?
Well,
where would that be too much?
Drop to 12th is crazy because they're already tied in with points for 12th place, so that's insane.
Are they really?
Yeah, if they lose the next 5 games, I think he'll get sacked then. I don't think it's going to happen. But yeah,
I didn't even feel like it might last 5 games. That's he already on 4 games without a win.
4 games
You know?
without a win.
Yeah, because they
That's
drew with Roma, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, you mean all comps?
That's
Yeah.
Yeah. And then on top of that was the 3 league games, 2 losses and a draw. So if they
Let me
keep
see.
losing, then
Who's in next? Okay, but then next, well, here what? Because their next Prem game is against Southampton, and there's just no way they're going to lose that, right?
Hey,
So
if there's one team
Right.
that can do it, it is
Right.
the mighty Tottenham Hotspur. Today is
That's
to
yeah,
do.
boy.
Today is to do.
that's a fact. But here, then,
Bro,
I
it's
would
how
say,
that is their motto, boy. But it is absolutely true in the complete inverse of what they
In
want it to
negative,
be.
in the most negative way possible.
Yeah, dog.
if
I
he loses,
dare you to lose a 5-0 lead in 45 minutes. I will
they
do
will-
that.
Yeah,
I will do. You dare me? I will do it.
Yeah.
I have it. If they lose against Southampton, because I'm watching the pictures now, right? If they lose against Southampton, then it could be Saka incoming because after that, then they play United in the cup. They probably lose that game. Then they play Liverpool. They probably lose that game
In the league, right?
in the league.
They love
Right.
one
And-
in the league, yeah.
And then they go away to Forest. They probably lose that game. So it might be enough. Losing to Southampton could be the beginning of the end. So he needs to get his stuff together.
That's if the beginning, yeah, not ongoing right now.
Right.
Like
Good
for all
point.
no, I didn't mean that anyhow, but like we sit down here though, we can wake up in the morning to one steam bomb saying that
Nah,
go on.
nah, not losing to Chelsea. I don't think losing to Chelsea is a sackable offense.
I don't know, bro. I don't mean like I think it actually has from the perspective I don't it has nothing to do with Chelsea and everything to do with the fact that they was winning 2-0 and they look like they could go and put their foot on the throat of the other opposite team, and then now this is just installs number 97 under Ange where you never feel in control of a game no matter the game state. You
I
know?
don't know because I thinking back on the game today and Spurs could have probably scored 5.
Yeah,
And
some
it's not
is
missing.
a glaring one too.
You know what?
Bro, the
It's
one
not
that
Ange
he
missing
missed
chances.
at 2 was it 2-1 or 2-2? The one where
Those
they
two-
thought the
those-
player was offside and he
Yeah.
run and catch it. Like, dog, that is not son.
That's why we won the game, you know. That's why we won the game. you
That
know.
was murder.
As soon as
that was
he
team of
missed
murder.
that, as soon as he missed that, I knew he was gonna win the game. I was like, wow, great. Thank you.
It's crazy. Solanke missed like on the line as well. Son had another coup.
Hey, Solanke scored, eh?
Typically scores.
Don't worry about anything he missed. He scored. Don't worry.
Oh
True,
my
true.
god! Yeah, but use my point in that, right? Was use the same one. Now, obviously, this does not apply to me, say it applies to Hala, right? But like, over criticize the striker because the defense swallowing 4 goals when the striker is scoring. Like, oh god.
Well, yeah, they did swallow 4 goals. 2 of those penalties were so stupid as well. I don't know. Those
Yeah,
players were
no.
like the first one actually is so reckless. I've never seen someone tackle like that in the box.
The
in
second
very
one is
long time.
worse. The man going away from goal.
No, but the
True,
first
eh?
one, Caicedo had nowhere to go. Why you doing that there?
No, but you
And
see
then
how
the
he's
second
flying?
one was complete head loss. Like he was like, dog, fleck it, we don't lose it. And
Yeah.
God, eat dog.
Then you should have kicked him harder. If that's
I
what
think
it is,
Salah
kick him
had
harder.
Palmer in his FPL for sure. He had Palmer in his FPL for sure.
Potentially.
Use are thinking, man. No, use are thinking, man.
Potentially.
Going forward, look, I know you. I completely understand why you would say it, and I would allow it from you. I would not allow you on to say these things about Liverpool, but I can understand why you say that you're not in a title race yet, right, Brandon? But the truth is that your next 8 league games are all against bottom half teams, bro. Like it
Yeah.
is entirely there for you all to like hit momentum and go. And I know some of those are away, and some of them is teams that have been bogey teams for you all in the past, but like. Nah, but I really think it's there to put together at least that kind of run to keep you all close to Liverpool.
Yeah,
If
no,
not,
straight.
match them, pass them. Who knows? Or might pull you off. You might blow them away.
Correct. I'm honestly, if I'll tell you all this now, like so you have it on the pod. If a month from today, we are still within 6 points of Liverpool, we will start to talk about the title. But
Okay.
as of right now, I still think we will be in it come the end of the season. we just riding a momentum that is too good to just let up. Like we can't not ride it. We have to keep going. We have to keep winning. And we just Mariska said today, we were taking every game one game at a time. And if we keep doing that and we keep winning, who knows what could happen.
This is
I mean,
possibly
look.
the best month to have the momentum because there's so many
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
And
at the start of the season we started off with City, right? And looking back on it, that was probably the best way to start the season, to be honest. Because we got that out of the way immediately. And I think nobody had us winning that game anyway. So, I mean, the expectation past that was probably zero. Even the expectation when we played Liverpool was zero. And those are the two games that we've lost this season. So, when the expectation has been there for us, maybe, that's when we haven't lived up to it. But apart from that, I think we've exceeded everybody's expectation, even Chelsea fans.
Yeah. You had them highest at 5th.
Yeah.
At least
No, I think I had them at 6th. I think I had them at 6th. That's why we finished the same place as last season.
But look, hey, we started talking about title there, and we can't not talk about title and not talk about the reigning champions in Manchester City.
My bad, sorry.
It's all good. Now it's just for Patrick to get a call. To be fair, we might get the weekly visit charity pod. That will count as a call. Yeah. We can't talk about title and not talk about Manchester City, right? They obviously drew 2 all. Brandon, in your notes, you told, but that's how you feel like Palace might be back, bro. But Patrick, did you get to watch this one?
For City?
The City Palace. Oh, you got to watch it. Right, cool. So I was going to ask, what was your thoughts coming out of it? Because for me, like, I did watch it, and to me, this is kind of what I expected life outside of Rodri to be like, where, yeah, they'll end up conceding some chances, but it more would have been like, they had to try and outscore the opposition. And that, to me, kind of was how the game was shaping up to be, at least until the red card. But yeah, what was your overall thoughts coming out of the game?
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess basically that. I thought I didn't think City would lose, to be honest. I didn't think they would have lost the game. Maybe I just believe in KDB too much, but for me, like, he is too good, so
I bring him in my FPL, bro. You aren't the only one who believe in him. Don't worry.
Right. Yeah, but I don't know. I think the red card may have spoiled the game a little bit. I guess we could talk about that later on. Overall, though, I think this is probably what we could expect from City. Less control, more go for it. Because, no Rodri. It's going to be difficult for them to control games without him. Unless they figure out some new, next iteration or whatever. I don't know. He could probably figure it out, but I don't know. I thought not much control. Lots of attacking. Lots of transition, I guess, or like artificial transition. Anyway, yeah. Good game. The red card kind of spoiled it. I think this is what we can expect from City going forward. Not losing, like not dropping points a lot, but games of less control and more.
Yeah. To be fair, all the remaining games are supposed to be quick hitters. But did you all think that it was a red card?
No.
I was very confused when he gets shown a second yellow. I mean, was he a bit aggressive with it? But like, I honestly thought that was pretty harsh. I mean, look, I have no love lost for City, but I can say that I think that was pretty harsh. Patrick, you thought it was a red?
I think it's a shame that VAR can't intervene in those situations because I understand that they should be able to. I find,
me too.
You're really affecting the game here, and that was not a foul. I don't think that was a foul. Wasn't even it was not a foul, and I think that I know we just rant enough about the refs, so whatever. But as a City fan, if I were a City fan, I would be so pissed because that just basically ruined the momentum.
Yeah, it did. But hey, look, in the last 2 years we saw KDB being back, and we saw a better return to form for the attack in general. Obviously, KDB scored it maybe, but we saw Haaland finally get back on his score sheet. at the weekend as well. So, Brandon, going forward, where does City fit in like your box then? What do you expect from them?
Bro. Honestly, I am of the opinion now that City might sign a whole new back line in January because these fellas don't look like they could defend at all. Like I thought, because I don't know, I'm pretty sure, and like I hope I'm not remembering this incorrectly, but I remember when Guardiola was being touted as one of the best upcoming defenders in the world, that he was a left back, centre back. Like he could play both just as equally as he could play either one.
Mm-hmm.
He's a horrible centre back. Regardless of where he plays, he's a horrible centre back. I think I don't even know what is his best position at this point. And I've been looking at all the City defenders, and boy, let me tell you all something. The only thing that I have seen more washed than Kyle Walker is a jersey I've had for about 10 years. That is the only thing I've seen more washed than Kyle Walker. So, bro, I don't know when it is he going to learn, but he needs to drop that, brother. He ain't a walker, he's a crawler. He's demoted. Demote yourself.
I like
that was good, boy.
I like
there's nowhere we have a commentator on the pod in the
facts.
It is roll off his tongue when he can go quick like that to the next 5 games for City. Hosting Manchester United, going away
Big
to
game.
Villa. Hosting, very much so. Hosting Everton, then going away to Leicester, hosting West Ham, and then going away to Brentford. Then they had like a few more fixtures before they had to play Chelsea and Arsenal back to back at the end of January. But that's far from next 5 games. I know we saw them win midweek, so that did end the run. It ended the run. They were reminded how 3 points are. Do we expect them to get back a bit more footing in the title race? Or are results like this weekend, red card mitigating aside, do we expect that to kind of continue?
I don't know, boy. I can't give you an answer. I just think the defense so bad. Like it really depends. It really depends on if the attack is better than the other team's attack on the day. That's all I can really tell you. Because the defense not helping them. The defense or the midfield. There's no defense coming from the defense or the midfield. And I don't know if Ortega has been much of an improvement, if I be honest.
And I think like one thing that I was seeing in these games too is like even going forward, that like it genuinely does show like they just need KDB on the field. Like there is no point of focus to get the ball to get direction going forward without him, and like Rodri also was some of that as well. And with the two of them on the team, there is just no direction. Like I have for a very long time held Bernardo Silva in very high esteem and stuff, but like when you watch the role that him and even Grealish has played, like they are good at keeping what the direction is going in the correct direction, but not the ones to take control and get the game going in their way. And so you're looking at them now that unless KDB plays, we don't have high hopes for this attack. And that is not to destroy any player or anything like that. But it's just that KDB's at a point in his career where like fitness is a question. How sustainable is that there going forward? That is the questions that Pep wants to answer. We also saw Matthias do this at the wing again. Which I thought was I don't know why though.
When did City stop signing big players though? That's my real question. Because there was a point in time, right? Honestly, there was a point in time where when Pep came and he was signing Sterling, Sane, Gundogan, the first Gundogan, KDB and etc. Right? When did they stop signing those types of players and now Calvin Phillips, Theos Nunes. Savio is good, but he's not a typical City signing either. Like Savio is good, but he wasn't great when they signed him.
The Belgian Saint Maximin.
Exactly. When did they start with these? When? I just want to know when did they start with these?
Hey, for what it's worth, I know like these last few windows might not reflect the best on them, but hey, they did a sign Akanji in the last year before, though. And I still think that's one of the best signings that they've made.
No,
Like
I mean,
last
bro,
couple of years.
within that they signed couple good players. They signed Haaland, like 3 seasons ago. So obviously that's a really good signing. But what, like what these other guys? I don't understand. It have players out there that could
Honestly,
do
I
a
try to
better
even
job.
remember who they have signed, and I can't remember. I mean, they signed Gvardiol last year. It was, if I'm not
That's a good
mistaken.
one.
Bro, they had signed that fella Sergio Gomez or something as well. Like I don't even know.
All right,
Yeah,
I forget that.
They signed Alvarez, who they sold.
that was
I
a good
mean,
one though. That was
that was
actually
a
a good
good
one. That one
signing. I
worked.
mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. But I
But
mean,
even still, it is a weird one because they could have just get like an established striker. When they bought Alvarez, it was straight out of Argentina before the World Cup and all. So it was like, you know,
I think at some point we will get to the stage where we could probably admit that the reason for that is Foden. And I don't know if you all agree with me on that now, but I think you will eventually. But
he's a
I think
forward.
a lot of the reason that they have not signed a lot of big players is because of Foden.
Mm,
And I think that
okay.
that they've relied so much on his talent
Mhm.
to be what they expected him to be. And now I think because you can see it throughout the season, like he's been playing, he's not been
Yeah.
playing well. They haven't signed players in his, especially in his position. Like they haven't done anything to reinforce that position of the field, and that's probably where they're lacking the most. If we're being honest.
You know, that's an interesting thought because I actually felt like Pep does do Foden kind of dirty. In all honesty, because I think Pep has really stunted this man's growth because the time came to platform him, right? And for whatever reason, it's like Pep wants anybody else but him to play. That's how I just feel. I find Foden does really only play if one of two things is happening. There are a million injuries, so then he will play, consistently, or he is the best player in the world right now, so I guess we have to use him. You know what I mean? But if any of those two things aren't happening, he will play today, and then the next 2 games probably miss, and then come back in, and then the next 3 games miss, and then come back in. And no player, let me not say no player, most players can't deal with that type of inconsistency in game time. And Doug, just look at how Palmer turned out at Chelsea. Look at what consistent gameplay a talented guy can actually do. I don't understand why Foden don't just play every game and why the team isn't built around him. Well, now I understand, but I mean like 2 years, 3 years ago.
True.
Like there could have been a much better player there. I just think it's like wasted talent. I honestly feel that way. The guy is good. We saw last season what he could do, but they don't trust him. I don't understand why.
John, we know you're a big lover of Phil Foden.
Facts.
Do you have any?
no, it's not that.
Do you have
I
any?
was just thinking about like, well, so like the thing is, there has been injuries this year, and he has been playing. But Patrick say when he had no other choice, he's playing, right? But
Yeah.
like, I was really thinking, like, so we all know that he could agree then that he is a serviceable player on the wings, right? But the best part of your way and play is through the middle, right?
Hmm.
That's where he can get in pockets, he could turn, shoot, and that's his strong suits, right? But like until last year was the only time that gap ever opened for him to start now, at least in my opinion. Because before that, and every season before that, I don't think he warranted starting over Gundogan and KDB. And that was the two that went to war for City, especially second half of the season. So when you travel to go for Champions League and all that stuff, right? And but he'll play on the wing and do good. Not hit the ceiling that he hit last year, but yeah. And so I don't I don't agree with Pep using him sparingly rather than until last year there wasn't really a space where it's like, okay, well, he's next up to play here, you know? Whereas until last year, like, again, I don't think at any point before that he wanted to start over Gundogan or KDB. And to be fair, being behind KDB is, oh God, we were talking about like one of the best players ever. Like that's just fine. But then now we're looking at this season, and the way that the squad built, the truth is that Foden has a skill set, and what the system is calling for right now just isn't part of his skill set. He isn't a high creative player. He isn't a dictative type of player. Those things are what you ask KDB for. Those things are what you want to ask to some extent Rodri for. Those things are stuff that you could have asked what was a fit Gundogan for. But all of them not there. But Gundogan there, but it's a shadow of himself is there. And so then now they can look to the person who step up last year. But then I think it's unfair to ask of him something that's just not his game. That he's just not that type of player. That yes, he's a midfielder in name, but he's not a midfielder, and those things are part of his skill set, not at the highest level at least. And so we're in this position now where like people are asking for Foden to step up and take up the space of where like KDB would have been and stuff like that. But KDB wasn't just somebody who used to score. KDB is a very unique player who did a lot of work for a lot of players. We talk about Grealish not scoring no set of goals and Bernardo and all these guys. And part of the reason, and I just use that as an example, that like part of the reason that like other players could have had limitations and nobody would have talked about this because like KDB helped mask a lot of sins of a lot of players because he is just that good. And so to just now assume that a talented player as Foden could just plug and play for what KDB is missing is discrediting how much work that KDB actually did to help cover up other people. We just watched, not this week, sorry. We watched the week before going against Liverpool. Then Porter started 11 with no goals in it. That score for the season so far besides Haaland. Like that is the reality of where the squad is. But then as soon as KDB come back, other men start to score again. Rico Lewis score, Doku score, and stuff like that. And that's just the chasm of a player that has been there all the time for City, and now just either get older or left or stuff like that, or injured. Sorry, that's what I wanted to say. So, yeah. I know because the thing is, you say platform, right? And the only difference I see from last season to now, and I mean, you're a coach, right? So I know you would see things differently at a more advanced level. It's just that Rodri not there. Now, because he's still playing in the same pockets, but he's not receiving the ball as much. But then now ask more of his role then to get on the ball more, to be able to do stuff deeper and stuff like that. And that's just not his skill set. And that's fine. That's genuinely fine. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I hear what you're saying. If people are saying that Foden could step in and do what KDB does, then
But you don't think that's the expectation? Is that he or that was kind of always where it was, that when KDB phases out, it's Foden to phase in kind of way? And then
Yeah,
that
but
last
that was-
season kind of felt like that in a way because KDB was out for the first half of the season.
yeah. If that's the case, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But then you need to build the team around Foden to highlight, to maximize
His strengths.
His strengths, exactly. But if people, I'm not saying us, right? I'm saying if people, and I'm just saying if, I don't even know if it's happening. I don't be on the socials and that type of thing. If people are expecting Foden to come in and do a KDB-like job, they simply don't watch the sport. That's it. They just don't watch the sport. It's too different. It's like saying, oh, Edison is injured, so let's just get Haaland. He's the best player in the world, right? He should be able to deal with that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's two different stuff.
Yeah.
But all that I'm saying is that Pep is a real sinner because I really feel like he spoiled the development of Foden. The guy needed more game time. Like, whatever he is now, cool. Okay. I think that the sins happened 2-3 years ago when he should have been playing a lot more. Okay, the Gundogan KDB, sure, whatever. Do one of two things. Platform him from out wide. Like, okay, don't platform him. Just play him. out wide every game, or reinvent the wheel again. I don't really know but one or two things, right? So what
I
he
mean, but
decided to do
also,
instead was just not play the guy, and that's
so,
criminal. Then sell
so
him. How about that?
well, so I was going to say that another thing in football, I just think about a lot. Like I thought about this with like Chelsea, or like how they build their squad, right? It's like just an example, right? Nobody cares about Modric now, like
Yeah,
nobody does. But like he was not like since we usually do it, right? He has a
yeah,
big platform, or nobody has tried to like super maximize him or whatever. But at the end of the day, to sound very harsh, these footballers are at the end of the day assets, right? And the thing
yeah.
is, while like in an ideal world for Ford's career, it might have been that like 2-3 seasons ago he was allowed more minutes in midfield earlier, allowed more settled minutes, allowed more partnerships to build and stuff like that. We could all agree, at least I think we could, that like until post treble season, like the truth is that their best midfield he doesn't start in. Between Gundogan, I want to say Gundogan, yes, KDB, Gundogan, and Rodri. I don't think that he starts in that. I mean, you talk about like one of the until we get this wash version into the league. One of the most clutch players on the Pep's entire time on the City. And then KDB, one of the best midfielders ever in the Premier League, and then Rodri's a DM. We don't expect for the reader, right? But at the end of the day, he is again. This sounds very harsh and very cruel. I don't mean to sound like that, right? But like players is get their development stunted as being part of squads that do great things, because at the end of the day, you need somebody to play second fiddle to greater players. And I don't think it's any slight of it to say that KDB and Gundogan at those times were just better players, were some of the best players in the world, And it's unfortunate that he stayed at City, and maybe that he and Pep thought that, okay, well, by the time I look to phase all these guys, we could phase him in, and it just hasn't been as seamless as everybody thought it would have been. And I don't mean that even necessarily from expectation of Foden point of view, but maybe expectation of everybody else around them. We talk about the different roles that KDB summarizing his own role. But while Foden can replicate some of those stuff, he probably would expect other players to be able to pick up some things. Again, big fan of Bernardo Silva. He's been terrible this whole season, and maybe arguably a little bit longer than that. That's somebody you probably would have expected to help more with the controlling element of games. But he's not doing it. And other players feel it means that it becomes a bad environment for other players to be able to do their best parts.
Right. Okay, I hear that.
So, and you remember last year, though, at the start of the season, we said that at least on the pod, at least once, that last season was in particular for Foden a make or break, just because he wasn't getting game time until that point,
Right.
But then he get game time last year. But unfortunately, as they say, like he played in a broken system right now, and that again is not.
He's not playing though. That's the thing. Like
No,
the
he's not
season
playing.
started and they
No,
went. I don't get it.
no, but since the City Arsenal game until the Nottingham Forest game, he's played every game. And so that was September to when the Forest game was. That was still December. That was still November. No, that was December. So
No,
that's 2
I
months
understand,
of playing.
but it literally only when everybody entered. I don't get why he didn't start from the start of the season. But
Well, so
yeah,
there was reports about how mentally he was very off it because of how the Euros went and things. And
Which was his own fault, by the way.
Yeah, and I mean that's a whole lot of conversation that started talking about football's mental side, but apparently he was not in it. And that is like the Athletic publisher, that's not me just guessing or
nah,
nothing.
yeah.
And so if he mentally wasn't up for the start of the season, then Pep had to do other things. And to be fair, until Rodri went down, he was winning. So like it was
Yeah.
And Rodri wasn't even playing them games. I guess it was just his spirit being there. But yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, let me move on. Oh, cool. I really going to. I mean, that was a good discussion. I mean, of course, but these are the kind of things I wish we could talk about a lot longer. But so it is good. Manchester United 2, Forest. Okay, before we do that, anybody, hi, I want to close anything on the Crystal Palace game. I mean, Crystal Palace, I didn't think had a good performance. But yeah,
really.
Will Hughes get 2 assists on the day.
Bro,
I mean, the first
you
goal,
still into prime Luka Modric, bro. Some of the
Yeah,
balls
no.
that man was playing was insane.
Nah, it's crazy, dog. And even like,
Wait.
I know Regulus get set up, but that finish was insane too.
It really was. Wait, John, let me do a segue into one of the next games now.
Sure, go ahead, no problem.
Okay. Well, yeah, since City didn't get a big win this weekend, we have to talk about a game that did have big wins, and that game was Everton versus Liverpool because it was postponed.
yes.
We have the
Oh,
first postponed
yes.
game of the season, guys. Yay! Whoosh.
Big wins. That's crazy.
Yeah, but
I
I
love
mean,
it.
we know that
I
was
love it.
postponed, but it also looks like for Amorim is still postponed and finding another win in the Premier League since he's arrived. And so Nottingham Forest won 3-2 in Old Trafford, which is the first time in 30 years that they've done that. And that was an interesting game. That was a really interesting game. Patrick, go first now.
Chris Wood, boy. How does he do it? How does Chris Wood keep scoring goals?
Here is though. This gonna sound like real hater thing, right? I real glad that he scored that thing, right? I have nothing against him or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what was Lissandro and Onana doing though? Them stand up on the line and just watch the ball coming in. Like,
Yeah.
am I being harsh? I don't think I'm being harsh. So you see the ball coming, bro. Just take our foot.
Well, Onana, I kind of get it, but I thought Lisandro should have kicked that
Right.
out, dog.
Fair. But he did score.
I,
And your boy
I
scored
find-
too. Milinkovic.
Yeah. You know, I'm a big fan of Milinkovic. And yeah, first goal, he's a giant. So, fair play.
Yeah.
Man, so that bullet header as well. So, yeah, man, excellent stuff. Yo, these days when I watch United, I really just continue with the tactical analysis. So I don't get to watch too much of ball action. But I spend a lot of time looking at the lines and structure and so on and so forth. And nothing really else to report there. It looks like it's getting a bit cleaner. Players are moving into spaces faster, so that's cool. But I think the double pivot still needs to be figured out because a couple of times Onana tried to find them, and to me it was more on them than poor execution from Onana because they just seemed to. There was a disconnect in who's checking when, and then there's a bit of a disconnect too in like when does Onana release. So I think that part just needs to get a bit more cleaner or a bit more automatic. That's probably the best way for it. Everything else looks good. Diamonds throughout the field. It's a good structure, I think. And then if we were to talk about the players on the day, thought Garnacho was okay. I think Garnacho and Rashford just gonna be fighting for that spot. Xerxes looks good every time he plays, so I really think like the number 9 might end up being Xerxes. I don't think there's anything wrong with that because I feel like it's better with a facilitator up there than someone who's looking to stretch it. So I think Xerxes for me is their ideal 9. And then I still believe in Hoyland as one of the 10s. I don't think that's wild. I think it could happen. I saw a lot of chances that Garnacho got, and I felt like if it was Hoyland, especially being left-footed, they probably score more. So that's my humble opinion. I don't think Garnacho really gets involved in the build-up, so why not go with another striker there? You know what I mean? Like everything that you would think you're getting from a number 10, you don't really, with Garnacho at least. Garnacho is there to basically be sometimes the highest player. You know, he is kind of like the striker. So why not go with a striker there? You know, I don't know. But that was about it for me. I thought Chris Wood's goal though was an insane
great
display
header,
of
though.
athleticism. It shouldn't
Yeah.
have scored, but what
Nah,
a
it was
jump!
still crazy.
Like, is he Ronaldo or something? Dog, this is a man from Australia, you know.
New
Like,
Zealand,
honestly,
New Zealand.
sorry, this is a
New
man from
Zealand.
you know the flags now, boy. They're similar, dog.
It's okay. You're all
He's
good.
Southern Cross.
Even
Southern
worse
Cross.
though. I saw if any of them people is listening to this pod, dog, like men from Australia or New Zealand or so have you. This is not a thing on their country at all. But what is a man from New Zealand doing, scoring all these goals in the Prem? I don't get it though. I simply don't get it. I'm
He's
going to
also
edit
Forest.
that.
He's also Forest top scorer in the Prem of all time, which is kind of
Yeah.
crazy as well.
It is insane because he's only been there for like 3 years.
Yeah, that's
I
kind
don't
of
know
crazy.
what's going on. I don't understand what's
This
going on.
this is really random, but I went on. I don't know what prompted him to do this. I think it was because he was on the edge of breaking some record by Dwight York, but I went and searched what is Aston Villa all-time top scorers, and Ollie Watkins is fourth right now, and it is
Ooh.
not unfeasible for him to be in the top two by the end of the season.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and the all-timer is like 35 more than him.
He will get it then.
I feel he could get it. It
Yeah,
just
he will get it because he's not going to leave Villa in a while, I think. So he could get it.
this is supposed to be quick hits.
Sorry.
Sorry,
On the
no,
New
no,
Zealand
Patrick.
rant as well.
No, you all good. It's really fine. I doesn't actually be vexed. It's just this is what we keep with. Brandon, you weren't as kind in somebody lack of goals though.
Yeah, bro. I mean, like my big question has been, who has really improved in this new system so far? I don't think many players have improved. I think the only player I think who's improved from Ten Hag to now is Ahmad. I think Ahmad looks incredible at his new wing back position. He's like a new player reborn. It's almost unfortunate that he's playing so well at right wing back, because I don't know if he'll ever play another position in his career, because he's looking so good. I think Ugarte looked really good in the game as well. I know some people didn't think so, but I thought
I thought so too.
Mazraoui on the whole is an excellent player. And we're also talking about players who also on the same side of the pitch. So, is that just a one side of the pitch thing? Is it a tactics thing? And again, the goals continue to be a problem. They brought on players to try and win the both games against Arsenal and Forest. Didn't work out. Hoyland's goal, I don't think is anything to talk about. Is a deflection of a bad shot from Garnacho that he puts into the empty net. So big whoop. I think there are a lot of things that United still have to sort out. And I don't, as much as I like Amorim and I like his system and I like the things that I've seen him do before, I still have a lot of questions about United. Like, we saw the game when they performed really well and we thought this was going to be a turning moment. But it's United, and we keep talking about something different every week, and we never get any consistency that we want. So, the lack of goals will continue to be a problem, and unfortunately, the lack of goals, once again, will be brought to the fore when Onana continues to make big mistakes like the one he made for Morgan Gibbs' white shot.
Well,
ooh, I want to talk about that. I do find it was a mistake. I see what happened.
You need to talk fast.
Sorry. I think it was plain unlucky though, because the trajectory of the shot told Onana, yo, this is a right-sided save, and then the thing just swerved over. Like, you know what I mean? People will say he went down too early. I don't know. I'm not a goalkeeper, so I can't say, but it seemed like it should have been a routine save, right? So he went down to make the save, and then the thing just swerved out. Like, anybody got to see the angle, like the behind the ball angle? Because
I didn't see that one.
Real swerve last minute, because he knuckled it now, way. So it was going to this type of parry, and then literally last minute it just swerved. And the commentator said, like, yo, wicked deflection, whatever. And then when they show the actual ball, it didn't deflect nothing. It just was going, and then it just zoom. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know if it was poor goalkeeping or if it was like literally just random magic. I have no idea.
Fair enough. We should make note that Forest are having a very, very good season, and I will be at the front of the queue to put my hands up and apologize for putting them in the relegation zone, because they are doing everything to be extremely far from it. In terms of Manchester United goes, I just got really bad off in terms of what I think after watching the first few games, and I know that he has scored like 3 goals already for Amorim, but I don't know if Rashford will ever be as consistent as they need him to be the source of goals going forward. Every time we see a good game from him, we get a bad one, and that's just at somebody who's 27 is not good enough. And this got so extra harsh. But I think, granted, Amorim is still here in like 2 seasons, and I think at some point you're going to sell Garnacho. And I also don't think that he's good enough to start for United if they want to go somewhere. I think that like Garnacho's biggest attribute to me is the fact that like he is relentless as a player mentally. Like, he doesn't let nothing phase him in games. If it is like he can't make something happen, he will keep trying. He won't put his head down. The problem is like I don't think that he has the ability to match the mentality that he has, and like a lot of times he ends up coming off as very selfish and very much like, how can I make myself do well rather than the team do well sometimes. That doesn't mean he doesn't pass. That doesn't mean that he doesn't, do things for other people. But like in the crunch of it, like I think he gets very narrow-minded. And like I don't see it for
Bro, I
him.
100% agree with you. I don't think that's harsh at all. I don't think there's a spot for Garnacho in this system and in the team. He could see success at a different club. But for his profile, he's not suited to be
Yeah.
one of those 10s. He's not suited to be a
And
striker. He's not suited to be a wing back. So,
and the thing is,
know?
is Brandon was the one who just say like it's unfortunate how good Ahmad playing. I really would like to see him play as one of the eights, but the problem is, as one of the
Eights?
tens.
Really?
But
Oh, okay,
sorry,
okay.
no, I'm at the 10. Sorry, my one. But the problem is that like there's only so much parts in this team that are actually working well. Now, to be fair, against us, I think like but the thing is, against us, I think that they did well, but because they set up to be super defensive. But where United wants to go, it's beyond just being super defensive. They need to be able to spring attacks. And only so much parts are working well going forward. And I feel like if he not sure if he can trust anybody else to do what I'm doing right now, like I'm not making it sound like it's a simple done job to do. But I feel like dog, you employ him, you might as well use him. Why not try Anthony then and put Ahmad in the front three to be as a tenant? Put Anthony to be a wing back then.
Because Anthony can't dribble.
What can Anthony do, Patrick? More point is like
he's the most defensive winger known to mankind. That's it. He can't dribble, dog, so you can't put him there because that position in Amram's system right now requires an excellent ball carrier. And that's why Ahmad is there. And Anthony is one of the worst ball carriers in the team.
But I think Ahmad is one of the I know like he played wing back. I classify Ahmad still as a winger, as an attacker in the team.
Mm-hmm.
And like again, I actually do see what you're saying, Patrick, in terms of Zirkzee probably has a good future in the system and under Amram. Everybody else could get sold in January. And I don't think that they would miss nothing. I'm being very extreme, but like by the summer, if they decide any one of the rest of them to cut and replace well, no, I don't think
it have certain players I think you can't cut. Onana, Bruno.
No. I meant just the attackers. I mean like Rashford, Hoyland, Garnacho, Anthony. You cut all of them, dog. I don't think it will make any difference.
That's fine. Yeah, Mount. Yeah.
Dog. Mark Flecken has more goal involvement.
God damn it.
That Mason Mount since 2022. Mark Flecken, he's a goalkeeper.
Oh yeah, there are probably a couple goalkeepers that have more. To be honest, there are probably a good bit of goalkeepers out there that have more.
Look, a team that could use more goal contributions right now, especially from open play, is Arsenal. And obviously, everybody knows that we drew 1-1 against Fulham. For a brief moment, it was 2-1 in our favor, but unfortunately, Bartley was offside in the build-up. I see real people was being real harsh on him, and honestly, I wasn't really upset with him. I was more upset with the fact that Timber just kind of take real long to play the ball. Because I give you a watch right before that, I was fighting to, I'm holding the line, could you just give me the ball? And he just take real long to give me the ball. But look, in terms of open play, the set piece thing, I don't think that is an unsustainable thing. One, because I think more so Rice than Saka. I think we have two of the best players to deliver things in the box. We have great aerial threats. However, it can't be that as all. And I think like what has happened in these last two games is that the XG shows up really well for the set plays and not so well in open play. And I don't think, from my perspective, that it wasn't all down to the fact that they didn't create nothing from open play. I think the sad reality is that where some of these players are is very like just unwilling to seize moments for themselves. And players very much afraid to shoot or to run and try and get a scrappy goal or for just being something or something like that. But like too often, like against United, you see I could have laughed about it after the fact that we won, right? But against United, dog, this thing where you need to cut on, not shoot. Like, dog, shoot, take your chances. Like, at the end of the day, you only will score if you shoot. And this constant thing of waiting for like the perfect moment. Like, the only person who has forced issues is Bukayo. Everybody else, dog, I need more from you. And the thing is, we talk about not enough goals with United, right? But that is for a Europa League level team, right? But for a team that want to be competing for the league, like it needs to be more. And the thing is, going into this season, I felt like I would have gotten more than I've gotten so far from some of these players. But like it isn't good enough. And some of that is on Arteta. Some of that is for trusting these players still. Like Jesus, unfortunately, Martinelli. I think today was the worst I see Kai play center forward in a very long time too. But like you see, he had like again, like we talk about this now, like players who have been scoring in big games and stuff. I could give them a blind. Is the rest that like I can't take. All I want to guess, where was the last time Luis Diaz has scored in the Prem?
Is it before the hat trick in the Champions League?
Yeah. It's way before that.
Damn.
You know the time of the game? I'll tell you the month though.
It's probably September.
It is September. And my point is that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because then now you can take him out and Gakpo's in form and he does well. Or that, Nunes had his spell of scoring a few as well. And my point is that like even if Trossard and Kai not being on their P's and Q's right through and taking every chance that they can, so the men behind are doing good enough. And I have said before that like I'm not sure how much you see like because I doesn't know where to apportion this kind of blame to between Edouard and Arteta, who are responsible for why the attack has the types of players that they have. But like dog, I did want Jesus to be sold in the summer. And he's coming on these games and is nothing. Did you watch our game, Brandon? By the way?
I did.
You saw the I think this was like a microcosm of where a lot of these tackles are in open play. The one that Rice ping into the box and it would fall right in front of Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Slide and hit the ball. And it's like these players falling just short because there's not enough players in the starting 11 that is goal hungry. Or rather in the squad as a whole. And so that is kind of where my anger is. I mean, at the same time, dog, some of these goals we concede, boy, it's like how much times they can get you had to be on the other end of like some of the best finishes these players managed to pull off. Between Emerson free kick and now Raul Jimenez score from a 0.03% chance of scoring. But it's like that's unfortunate. But as much as that would happen, I'm sure Isak XG against Newcastle against Liverpool was very low too. But you had to find goals to bring it back after that. And it just don't feel like it's high enough, boy. And the truth is that like I was also upset with the way that the 11 was. And this is why, like, as much as I think Odegaard deserves praise for being back, and he's a big part of why we're doing well, again, the balance of the whole team. This thing again, where we start 3 right footers on the left, make the field very narrow, can't stretch out teams. I thought Fulham made it very easy to press us and stuff like that. And so, why Mourinho didn't start? Don't know. When I'm watching Rice try to crash the box, and that's something that Mourinho is much more natural too. Don't know. But I'm playing that man at right back. So unnecessary, especially when Timber has been doing extremely well there. But so it is go. I don't want to say anything. I apologize. I didn't mean to rant. I really didn't mean to. But yeah.
No, it's your team. I mean, you'd have the best insight on it. I just, like to give you a little, thing on into the insight. That is all because of your manager, my friend. Your manager saw Timber put down one of the best performances of the season against United and said, I know what I'll do. I'm moving from right back where he played his best game of the season and put him left back. And then
Yeah. I agree with that, boy. I
and then
totally agree.
and then
No,
I don't
boy,
know.
the
I don't
lineup
know.
thing, yeah, boy.
Hold on, I don't know if you're
was
I don't know if
tough,
you're clock this as well. He had you all know you have three slots to make 5 substitutions, right? He
Yeah,
made
correct.
4 substitutions, you know. He didn't even bring on a 5th sub, you know. He made 4 subs. he didn't even bother to bring on a 5th sub. So I found all that was strange. I found not playing Marino was even stranger because, like, you know,
Yeah,
you brought
bro. And I mean,
whatever.
like, dog, 3 times Rice came close to scoring today, right? And I watched those things. I'm like, dog, when Marino plays, those things are so much more natural to his game. To crash the box, to time those runs, to be threat. Like, and it's like, he self-sabotaging. That's what it feels like. It's like he's self-sabotaging at this point. Because, again, the lineup, I so don't agree with. Now, you see, in the front, like, if, again, we play Liverpool, but everybody is fit. Just an example, right? And you want to play Timber left back that day, but you can still play White at the right back, then fine. That is fine. I'm okay with that. But this thing where, you know, you change it every dynamic because of injury, I mean, again, I know he saw, I understand, like, he saw Adama was going to start, and he probably didn't want to play Lewis Kelly against Adama. But, like, when we watch how the game play out, I feel like if you could have do it and you would have won and get away with it. They full of had 2 shots this whole game. They weren't as much a threat going forward. They defensively were really, really well. And I thought they were really compact as well. But like, they didn't have that much going forward. And then now if you actually started some players who could stretch the team on that side as well, you know what I mean? It's harder for them to be compact. But yeah. Credit to Fulham though. They've been having an excellent season. I have a lot of love for them for obvious reasons, but they are doing really, really well. Patrick, do you have anything you want to say? No, sorry. Go ahead now, Brandon. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say check the link in the bio. We are starting a GoFundMe for Arsenal's open play goal coach because they already have a set piece goal coach. They just need an open play goal coach. So check the link in the bio for the GoFundMe account.
An open play goal coach is something I never thought I'd have ever heard about in my entire life.
Just saying, Liverpool didn't get this much corn when them hire a throwing coach and whoever else. But
I just wanted to tell them how many goals they score from a train. I just want to know.
24%, whatever season that was.
They ever scored directly from a train?
You know, they should have hired Rory the lap of that what they wanted to do.
Yeah,
that's all love. Patsy, I know you want to say?
No, I didn't watch the game, so
okay.
I have absolutely nothing to say, I guess. I wish that
look, so much of these things is obviously result based, right? Because like I mean, an inch difference, and you know, Saka then does get the winner, and we talk about how you know they do fight to come from behind and win. I mean, geez, dog, Jimenez finish was insane. And the thing is, I feel like between that Justin goal, Emerson free kick last week, and the list is go on this season. I'm like, these are amazing goals we conceded, and like, you know, like 2-3 games, I could take it, swallow it. It just is what it is, and you move on, right? But at some point, like I wonder, like if that's something we're supposed to be doing more. And the thing is, I think Raya, rightfully so, has been getting praise this season, But like, I find a lot of the saves that he make is that I personally find he is due, like particularly what he used to do in prayers, where it was this fella who would make every simple save look extremely flamboyant. Camera save, every simple save. And like the ones where I really think is a space for one to save, he don't make. But I don't want to sound like I hate him anymore. Because he has been having a good season. Like a really, really, really good season.
Can I just say one thing before we move on from this? I know this is like a pet peeve I have with football on the whole. Like I believe the statistic was that Jimenez's goal was a 0.03 XG.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all watch football differently from me, and Daniel, you're a coach, so you will see this differently as well. That is not a 0.03 XG chance for a top number 9. That is an excellent chance for any number 9. Like that's a real good chance.
Remember,
a very, very, very good chance. It's almost like saying Robin shooting from the outside the box on his left foot is, you know.
Yeah.
It's like
Correct.
that is a very good chance for a good number 9. Like a good number 9 should at least get out on target. So I don't know. I guess the XG model is kind of
No,
weird.
well, the thing is, the XG model accounts for everybody, right? Like I've been saying for the longest while, we should the stats have advanced so much, we should be able to get like XG models for players. Like if a man takes this shot, like what is the percentage based on like his style of finishing and stuff like that? How well does he do it?
Oh, I just saw it.
And
0.03?
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, 0.03. You could believe that?
0.03 or 0.3?
Nah,
No,
0.03.
0.003. Hey, but you go on, but you gotta remember, these XG models 0.3. There's beating like tapping and thing, yeah.
No, 0.3 is not happening. Come on.
I'm telling you,
Nah,
dog,
I'm
this
telling
is
you,
so
I'm
random.
confused.
I remember during COVID, me and Patrick had a conversation over Sterling and a chance he missed for City. And I remember going back and telling him how the extra chance was only 0.35. And he was like, but that's impossible because Sterling was literally in the 6-yard box and he missed from right in front of the goal or whatever. But I'm telling him, like, that's just what the models have it. That I what we fail to realize is like the reason these models have it like that is because whether we like it or not, even though like 35% of the time they would score for whatever reason, 65% of the time and people just find out a way not to score it.
No, I hear you. But like,
No, that's
0.3 is
not
not that
0.03.
happen. Anyway,
But
that's
Daniel,
there,
does that look like a
however,
0.03 chance to you?
No. Absolutely
Any
not.
proper striker that had to
Should
be on
finish
target?
that.
Yeah.
Bro, I think most strikers in the Prem finish that. I honestly think so. And they are basically saying that if there are
3%
100
of the
strikers in the
time.
Prem,
3 of them scored that.
yes.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Nah, that's actually a good chance. I would put that down as not a big chance, but that's a decent
A
chance.
good
If
chance.
there's
Yeah.
something like that.
No,
That's
but it's a
between,
good chance because
you know.
to me it's a big chance because of the quality of player too. Like it's Jimenez, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Again, obviously, I hate that it happened against White Club, right? But I genuinely have a lot of love for Jimenez, right?
I don't
I
think it's a big
seeing him.
chance. Sorry, go ahead.
No. It's not a big chance. I say there's a good chance because of the quality that Jimenez is as a player,
Yeah.
But the little
It's a
thing I was
great
just trying to
finish,
say
bro. Jesus.
is that like
Mhm.
I have a lot of love for Jimenez. I see in him and a lot of these Fulham players play there this season. They have. Am I allowed to talk about this? I know he didn't have a good game today, but can I talk about Alex Iwobi, dog? Oh my goodness, dog! My dog having a real good season. I am so happy for him, and like for all the reasons, other men will get players, but my dog scoring, dog. My dog putting up things, and hey, Fulham are 6th in the table. Don't
Yo,
know
but
where they
who's
might
this?
go.
Who's this defending? Is this Timber?
No, that was. Oh, who
Kiwior.
ran across
Who's
was
that? That's
Saliba,
Kiwior?
but
Oh, no, Kiwior and Saliba.
Kiwior.
Saliba was the one who got
Yeah.
close to him in the end.
That's bad defending. That's actually bad
we
defending.
all do real bad there. Yeah, I agree.
The inside-outside run was great, though.
It's a really good run, but then also like I think it's bad defending on both parts because from the time he gets on the
So,
inside, Saliba has to start coming across, and Saliba doesn't. So Saliba really only comes across when the ball gets played to his feet,
So-
and then Saliba's like, I need to go. But from the time he gets on the inside, one of two things need to happen: either Saliba comes across or Kiwior gets back, but he can't because the momentum. So yeah, Saliba has to come across and. Bro, I think that's bad defending. I think it's bad defending from Kiwior as well because it's starting position. I wouldn't
Well,
take
so
such an aggressive
where
starting position. Sorry, go ahead.
where I was upset defensively wise was I think Saliba get caught in two minds if to step up any moment or if to come across.
Which one
And
step up?
like
The line?
so he almost played him offside in it. And the truth is, I genuinely think
That's
if
fine.
Gabriel was there, he would have played him offside. But I think
That's
because he
fine.
started, he might have to compensate for Kiwior. That like, oh well, let us start a little deeper in case I don't go and clean up or whatever.
Wait, hold
And
on.
so-
I'll tell you if that was. No, he made a good decision because if he tried to play him offside, it would not work. Because it looks like when that pass is made, that he's actually in line with Kiwior. So in which case, Saliba couldn't play him offside. So I think he made the good call. But he needs to
Fair
come
enough.
across. That's just defending 101. Anyway, whatever. I'm not Saliba, so
Nobody is.
one person is.
That's correct. Cool. Nice. Moving on. I mean, to be fair, we could talk about the fact that Liverpool went 3-3 at Newcastle. And that in itself was a mad game. But we did talk that Liverpool, if they would drop points, they did drop points midweek. But do we feel like it's enough? Or they want to update all the percentages? Patrick was 60. I think you was 80. I was 85 last week. On the likelihood of Liverpool winning the league.
No, I'll stay on 60.
I just would like to say there's 100% chance that we will spend more time on Liverpool next week's podcast. There's 100% chance we will spend more time on them because we spent like 5 minutes on them for the past 3 podcasts. But yeah, no, I still think it's like 80 bros. Like it had to be 80. It's real high. It's almost inconceivable to think it at this point.
Yeah, I agree. All right, cool.
In a weekend where they did not play, only one team, which is the most unserious team of the title challengers, is the one that won.
Off though. Oh my goodness, though. He said unserious. No? All right, let me do a quick roundup.
Atletico came back to win their game today. Antoine Griezmann with a 94th minute winner. Start there. What a game. I don't know if anybody saw the game, but what a game. Oh my goodness. What a game.
That makes sense. I think 9 games in a row that they win in.
Yes.
And that actually puts them only 2 points off Barca at first with that game in hand.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
3 points actually with that game in hand. Hey, title race fight. Speaking of Barca drew 2-2 with Real Betis. A 90 plus 4 minute goal from Diao is what rescued a point for Betis at home. Yamal actually started this game because there was a running thing about how if Yamal started to win. But Pat, I don't know if you managed to get any of this because this was our early game Saturday. I don't know if you managed to get any of this, but you have any thoughts?
I didn't get to see it.
I had Frankie came on look terrible.
I expect nothing less.
Then next up is Real Madrid beat Man City, Girona 3-0, and Mbappe managed to score. But I don't know if all this City City he missed.
Oh yeah, boy! Oh my goodness!
Oh
my goodness!
When it rains and pours, like. So yeah, there's that.
But the finish was good though. I don't know if anyone saw the finish.
His goal,
I did see it. His goal.
Yeah, his goal was good.
Yeah.
Besides that, from what I could see here, everybody expected to win, did win. You've been through 2-2.
Lazio beat Napoli.
Lazio did beat Napoli. That is correct. And I don't think Atalanta won. No, Atalanta won on Friday. No, they did. Yes, they did. Atalanta did win on Friday.
Lookman scored.
Yeah, Lookman had scored. So, that was 2-1. So that actually puts Atalanta at the top of the table, given that Napoli lost today to Lazio. So yeah. All right, guys. Let me do what we always do. And real quickly, we're going to run through the Champions League fixtures and we're going to predict to see who gets what. Right?
Bro, we need to start. Okay, Howard, from now, like in the next pod, let me then go back over the predictions now.
Yeah, okay. I could do that.
Because what are we making predictions for then?
Now we're scoring it from next week. We're scoring it from next week. It's on. It's on.
Let's do that.
It's on.
So here's what I was thinking, right? I was thinking, so if you get correct, you get 3 points. If you get it 1 up or 1 down, you'll get 1 point. And if you don't get correct, you get 0.
What's 1 up or 1 down? I don't understand.
So let me say you predicted. No. So let me just the results. So let me say you predicted a draw, but or rather, let me say you predicted a loss, but a draw happened. That is 1.
My friend, but if I predict 100 draws, then I'll probably just beat you all in the end.
That is your choice, but then you're not going for 3 points.
Man, so I just win by whatever.
I feel like statistically he would win with 100 draws.
Yeah.
rather than 50 wins.
No, let's just go. Because we just always give us.
Let me not complicate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Let me go.
Our point and our draw.
Our win is our point. That is all.
Nice.
A correct is a point.
Correct is a point. Dynamo Zagreb hosts Celtic.
I'm going Celtic in like a 2-1.
I'm gonna go Zagreb.
Oh, nice. I'm going for a draw. So we done off that.
Somebody getting a point.
John, we're not on your metric, the draws, they do the 1 up down thing.
Matter, bro.
Somebody
then we have Then we have Girona hosting Liverpool. How much
Oh
Liverpool
God,
gonna
oh
win
God,
by?
oh God, oh God, jeez. 3-0 Liverpool.
Yeah, same.
4-0 Liverpool.
Nice. Then do we have Atalanta, who conceded 1 goal so far in the Champions League,
Mm-hmm.
hosting Real Madrid?
I need to check is Vinicius going to be fit? That's the main question.
I
I
don't think
believe
so.
he is. I
I
believe
think
so.
he is
Where
fit.
is he?
I think he is fit.
I saw him training. I saw him
Really?
training.
He's not on the
saw him
injury
training.
list anymore. Was he on the bench?
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me check real quick.
No, he was not the bench this weekend, I think.
Because this matters. Okay, no, he wasn't.
I
go
believe
for a
they're
draw.
saving him yeah, I go for a draw as well.
Damn, dog. I like to tell you, talk about good bit of games here I would watch on Tuesday. Because
And then all of them
Atalanta
spicy.
hosting Inter.
All of them super spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah, draw.
Okay.
Draw. It's a draw.
2 all away for draws.
Draw.
Yes.
Go for the Real win.
I want to go for the Atalanta.
It's not that we picking Real to win. That's crazy.
Yeah, boy.
They need to win.
No, they need to win.
They
But
need
it's
to win.
about Atalanta to win. I'm going with Atalanta to win.
No Real
Um,
win. Sorry.
Leverkusen hosting Inter.
Oh my days. I go Leverkusen 3-1. And I know But
I'm gonna go
I
Inter.
can't see a goal yet, eh?
I'm going
But you
Inter
going and you
2-0.
can see 3.
I'm going Inter
honestly,
2-0.
yeah. Nah,
I also
because
would.
Wits is too good. Sorry, go ahead.
I will
Inter
go. Yeah, I want to say Inter. So I'll go with Inter. Inter to win.
Good. We
Brest
checking this one back on Sunday.
Yeah, we're checking this one for sure.
Yeah, we will. Brest hosting PSV. I will with Brest.
Boobies.
I'll go with
always.
Brest. It might be
Oh, I love
an uneven game.
Oliver
Could
score.
be on.
Yeah. I mean, who knows what comes out of it? You know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be one I
Next up,
definitely want to watch.
We really milking these Brest jokes, you know.
I know.
yeah,
I know.
it's getting a little sour, but so it is go.
Correct.
Club Brugge who was Sporting. Did you all know Sporting have lost all their games except for the
Since
first
Amram,
one?
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Monaco, right?
No, Club Brugge.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I go in for a draw.
No, I think Sporting win this game.
I also think Sporting will win the game. Then we have winless. Do they even have a point? RB Leipzig hosting Aston Villa.
Yeah, Villa.
I wait
It
for
would
a
be Villa for
draw.
me.
I wait for a draw. Then you have Salzburg hosting PSG.
I hope for PSG sake that they win.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I'm going to PSG just because like they need it.
Actually-
They really need it.
Wait, hold on. Hold on 1 second. Nah, I go in our draw, boy. I go in our draw. Because, like, Salzburg at home, and they also kind of need it. And
Is Dembele suspended?
Who's suspended?
Yeah, I think
Did-
so.
Did he get sent off in the last game?
Oh, Usman?
Yeah. So he missing this game. Ooh, that changes up. You know. I'll still give it to
I still go
PSG.
for
I feel it might be a little better without them.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I still go with PSG. It might be ugly, but their last one is Shakhtar hosting Bayern Munich.
Yeah, Munchen.
I'm gonna go for Munich.
Yeah, same. Next up, Atletico hosting Slovan Bratislava.
Atletico Madrid.
JK.
Atletico Madrid.
Yeah,
What he say?
Atleti.
Nah, he was
Oh,
joking. He was
nah.
joking.
Okay, nice. Then we have Lille hosting Sturm Graz. Going for Lille.
Lille.
Jonathan David hat-trick.
Yep. Then we have
Nah, a little too far.
I want an extra point for that then. If it happened.
A little too far.
I will let give him it if he does actually get a hat trick.
All right. If you don't score, give it -1. Huh?
Yeah, if he don't score, yeah, might as
I'll
well.
have it. I'll cool with that.
Okay.
No goal minus.
All right.
Hat-trick plus
All right,
one.
we're going with it. Then we have Milan hosting Red Star Belgrade. I will go with Milan to win.
Milan.
I'll go with Milan.
Then we have Arsenal hosting Monaco.
It's a huge game, bro. Huge game. I'm going to say draw.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like Monaco.
I didn't even throw in. Okay, I feel Arsenal should win. So I'll. Because at home and all that. Yeah, so.
Then we have Benfica hosting Bologna. I will go with Benfica to win.
I'll go with Benfica to win.
Bologna. Yeah.
All right.
I think so.
Then we have Dortmund hosting Barcelona.
That is such a huge game,
That's a
bro.
great game. But that's the game I'm going to be watching. Barcelona going to cook them though. And it is what it is. That's it. Yamal, 2 goals. Lewandowski, 2 goals.
I will go.
Lewandowski's going for sure.
Yeah, I was
Lewandowski's
going to say
going for
Lewandowski love a goal against Dortmund, you know.
Yeah, he's going for sure. And he's celebrating.
I'll go Barca. I'll go Barca.
I'm going for a draw.
All right.
Fair enough.
Then we have Feyenoord hosting Spartak Prague.
It's Feyenoord.
Feyenoord.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm going Feyenoord too. Then we have Juve hosting Manchester City.
Hey.
So the 0-0 Kings versus the team who
Yeah.
not sure about scorers.
Ooh, jeez, boy, it's not a tough one, you know. No, I think City win, and it's because like KDB back and all that stuff. So
I'll go for the City win, but just
yeah.
Yeah, I felt the same way. And then the last one is Stuttgart.
3-3 draw once again. It'll be our next 3-3 draw.
Yo, Pep will lose his mind. Anybody saw Pep borderline attacking
Yes.
that fella in the streets?
Yeah.
Funny, dog.
What you say to me? What you say to me?
Yeah, that was real funny.
You know what
dog.
lose?
Uh,
Then the last one is Stuttgart versus Young Boys. I
I
was
think
Stuttgart to win.
I'll
Yeah.
go Stuttgart as well.
yeah.
Nice, cool. All right, guys, that's it for this week. Thank you guys so much for being here with us, for bearing with us. And well, yeah. If you want to join the community, I was supposed to say something, but feel free to say so. And you guys see you. All right, catch you guys next time. See you soon. Take it easy. Later.